welcome back to a new video. Today I will be sharing with you another video on this series, Is It Worth Trying? And today I will be sharing my thoughts on the Real Techniques limited edition design, which is supposed to be NYX Picks. This really caught my eye. I have quite a few brushes from Real Techniques, so today I'm going to go through each one of these brushes, compare it to the ones that I have in my collection, and then hopefully by the end of the video we can decide if this was worth trying. So if you're interested in my thoughts on it, then just keep watching this video. First thing I want to mention is that I saw this kit a few months back. Somebody posted in Instagram that they were gonna release the set, and I was like, well, I'm kind of interested in trying that set. But as soon as I saw the first person saying that they saw it at Kohl's.com, I went to the website and it was $29, which I thought it was kind of expensive for Real Techniques, because usually they range between $17 and $19, their sets anyways. The regular ones, I've never tried a limited edition one, so this might be normal for, you know, limited edition sets. But I thought it was kind of expensive for being just, you know, the same amount of brushes that you would get in a regular set from them. But of course you're not gonna get the same brushes. So I ended up having some Kohl's cash, so I used that, and I also used some percentage off that I had from Kohl's, so I ended up having to pay much less for this set. But I really wanted to compare with other brushes that I had from my Real Techniques line, because I do love those things brushes. That I found that it was kind of contradicting is that these are NYX Picks. So basically are the brushes that she really loves, but only two of them, they're in the regular line. The other ones are new. So I don't know if she got inspiration from other brushes that she has in her collection that they're not Real Techniques, or what it is, because, you know, if I would pick my favorite brushes from Real Techniques, they would have to be in the permanent collection, I think. But I thought that was interesting, but it didn't stop me from buying them, because I thought that it might be something that she really uses, maybe from other brands, and that she decided to come up with a design for Real Techniques and actually implement it into the line and share it in this limited edition collection that might become something permanent, depending how people like these brushes or not. Or at least that's what I think about. This brush that I have right here is the Dual Fiber Face Brush, and this is for lightweight application of foundation, powder, whatever you want to apply to your face, and for blending of face powders or pigments. I want to compare this one, and this is how it looks like. I mean, as you can probably tell, it's very fluffy and it's not dense at all, as you can probably tell. It is cut in very different lengths, bristles themselves, which makes it very unique. This is from the regular line. This is not exclusive to this set, but I didn't have it in my collection. When I saw it, I thought that it was very similar to my blush brush from Real Techniques, and as you can probably tell right here, they're nothing alike. I mean, they could be the same size, but this one, it's more dense. It is cut differently because it's kind of tapered, and this one is not tapered. They're all uneven, but in a different way. This one, it's just tapered. And you know, even though they're as big, since they have different density, they apply the product differently, because this one applies more product because it's denser, and this other one applies more light, and it kind of stipples the product into your skin, versus this one that it kind of, you know, applies the product on top, and then you have to blend on top of that. So basically you can use this one for foundation, you can use it for powder, you can use it for whatever you want, but just so you know, this is not going to give you much coverage or full coverage. This is going to be very lightweight for maybe for your lighter days, or whenever you want to apply a foundation that is very full coverage but you want a more light effect, and then you can use this one. And also what I've been using it for is to blend. I think that sometimes when I do my makeup really early in the morning and I go outside and I look into, you know, daylight, I can find that my blush is kind of crazy, or my bronzer is kind of crazy. So I can blend this, and just because it has all those different lengths of bristles, blends seamlessly, and it makes it look softer. So even if you have one cheek darker than the other one, you just kind of blend it with this, and it's gonna blend the product into your skin, and it's gonna make it look softer. The next brush is one of the exclusive brushes, and this is the cheek brush, and it evenly applies makeup across cheekbone for a more dramatic finish. I like this brush very much because I've never had anything like this before. But it has this pinched in, which makes it kind of flat, and that works in my advantage to use it for two different things. Before I move on to what I use it for, I just want to let you know that it's kind of taper. So they're shorter right here, and then they go longer into the middle. As you can probably tell, it's very like a taper kind of brush. If you compare this one with the buffing brush, you can tell that they're totally different. This one is round and it's not pinched in right here. It also applies, of course, if you want to apply blush with this, it won't give you much precision and it's going to be of more of a round shape. While this one, when you want to apply the blush, you can apply it directly into here and then you kind of stamp it on your face. So if you have a, I don't know, let's say a blush that you don't have much or that it doesn't have much pigmentation, then you go crazy on the blush itself and then you can kind of stamp it right here and blend it at the same time and it will look flawless. If you compare it to another brush, which I thought they were kind of similar when I looked in the website, and so you might be thinking the same, is the Expert Face Brush. And well, if you ask me, I think this is the mom of the Expert Face Brush, and I'll tell you why. Basically, they're pretty much the same thing because both they're kind of pinched in right here, so it makes them kind of flat. They're both tapered, which, you know, it's very common in this kind of brushes, but this one has like a little, I don't know, a little something on the side, while this one, it's different cut on the side. Another thing that it makes it different, and of course it's going to apply the product differently, is that this one, it's longer, has longer bristles than the Expert Face Brush, which this one, it will give you more of full coverage and it will pick up a lot more product, where this one, it's going to take enough product to blend there at the same time that it's applying it. So they're similar, but they're not the same. So I think this is a very nice addition. I love to use this in my morning routine because I do apply my blush like this, and then I apply my bronzer with the taper part of the brush, so I can use it in different parts of the brush and I can achieve a flawless look because I'm not going to be combining my blush with my bronzer, because I will use my bronzer on the tip of the brush and I will apply my blush itself on one of the sides, so it will give me more precision as far as where I want to apply my blush. So I actually think this brush itself, it's pretty neat, different, and I really enjoy it. The next brush is the Angle Shadow Brush, and this is perfectly cut for layering eyeshadow in the crease. My favorite eyeshadow brush is the Mirabella Eye Blender, and this is what I use in my crease whenever I want to like a wash of color, and I haven't been able to find anything that it actually compares to this brush. Since I got this set, this has been replaced with the Real Techniques one. This is totally different. I'm gonna compare it side by side so you can see, but it gives a very similar effect in the eye. What I do with this is I put the angle, like the longer part of the angle on top, and then I put the shorter one in my crease area, and I do a wash of color. It is very precise. It's not gonna go all over the place because the bristles are not too long. They're long enough so you can blend the product and apply it at the same time. I love it for that. If I want to do more like a wash of color, I can put it on the side and go like this and blend whatever edges I have. I've never tried anything that it's cut in this way and that it works this amazingly. I also like it for my outer V, so I can apply, you know, the darker color, stamp it on the outer part of my V of my eye, and then I will move it inwards and kind of blend it to do more of a smoky look. So I do think this is kind of special, and like I said, I've never found anything that I could, you know, even relate it to my favorite brush. And even though they're totally different cuts, I think you can get pretty much the same effect with this brush. The next brush is the Base Shadow Brush, and it's pretty much the same one as they have in the regular line. I'm going to show you the one that I have from the regular line, and as you can tell, they're exactly the same. I love this brush. I always loved it. I think since it's taper, I can kind of go into my crease and define the crease and blend it at the same time. I love to apply all the shadow, you know, in my lid area. I mean, it has a lot of uses that I give to this brush itself. If I want to use it with my concealer, I can use it with my concealer. So I thought it was kind of neat that they added into this kit. Lastly, I have the eyeliner brush, and this is a firm angle head for optimal control along the lash line. And it really gives you a lot of control in the lash line, and you can get a very nice line, even line. But my only thing is that I don't think it's very easy to do my cat eye for me and how I do it. I like my Sigma E06 better because I think that that one, since it's wispy and it's not as dense as this one, it can get into every little crevice and whatever we have into that area, fine lines, whatever you want to call it. While this one sits a little bit more stiff and dense, it kind of, you know, gets stuck in between the lines, and it can make it look not crooked, but kind of I mean, you can see some dents into the line, so it doesn't make it perfectly, so you have to go over it a few times and maybe get a thicker cut eye just because you're trying to fix something that it wasn't right in the first place. So I do like this brush. I don't like it for do a cat eye, but I think it's a nice concept and that you can get a perfect line for your top lash line. I'm gonna compare it to the other brushes that you might be thinking it could be similar to. This is the angle brush from Real Techniques, and as you can probably tell, they're totally different. The one from the regular line, it's bigger and it's denser and thicker, and absolutely nothing, you know, similar about these two brushes, but I still wanted to compare them so you could see how different they are. And of course, this is for eyebrows and this is for eyeliner, but in case you thought you could achieve the same look with this brush from the permanent line, I don't think so. They're totally different and they perform differently. The other brush that they have for eyeliner is the Pixel Point eyeliner brush. As you can probably tell by that, they're totally different. This one is pointy and it's flimsier, and the hairs kind of go all over the place, and it's hard to apply the eyeliner. This is not only hard to apply, you know, to do your cat eye because of the shape, but on top of that, it's hard to get like a straight line on top of your lash lines. So this one doesn't compare at all with this one. I think the new one is improved and much better than the original. Really, is it worth trying? Honestly, I think they're worth trying. I mean, they're 5 brushes for $30, which I think it's a bargain. You know, I'm used to getting 5 brushes for $20, but I think these ones are different enough and special enough that they need us, you know, they needed to be a little bit more expensive. I don't mind paying the $29 if I would have to repurchase them, because I think they're very unique. The 3 kind of special brushes or different brushes that they have, I think they're totally worth trying. I think that it's gonna make your life so much easier as far as makeup application, and I didn't have anything like this in my collection. I had other brushes like I showed you, but I think these ones are special enough that they're worth having. These other 2 brushes, the one that the regular line, the shadow brush, I mean, it's nice because now I have another one, but this one in particular, I thought it was like what I needed in my brush collection, because I think that when I heard dual fiber brush, I always kind of attach that word with blending, and sometimes I go overboard with my bronzer or my blush. So I really want to, you know, make sure I have something even in my purse, so whenever I do go outside and I think I look kind of crazy, I can blend it in the car effortlessly and in just like a few seconds without having to work that hard or without having to remove any of my makeup or redo my makeup at all. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I think it's totally worth trying. I think that if you have the right tools in the morning to apply your makeup, it's not gonna only make it faster, but it's gonna make it easier and it's gonna look more flawless. So I hope you really enjoyed this video and that it gave you some ideas and comparisons to see if you really do need this in your brush collection itself. You may have other brushes that I don't have, and you may think that these are not worth trying. So I hope that it gave you all the information to decide if this is worth trying for you. I love you guys. Remember to thumbs up this video if it was helpful at all. Subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed so you won't miss on new videos. I love you guys, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Mwah.